Partnerships, community, podcast, friends presented by Superhuman AI Happy. Friday Future Party. Four-time Formula One champion Max Verstappen is about to face maybe not his hardest opponents, but his most opponents yet in a race at Silverstone, a go-kart race. On September 16th, Disney Plus will air Max vs. 100, which will see Verstappen race against a mix of pro athletes, influencers, and fans. As a handicap to those 100, Verstappen will start all the way in the rear. Let the overtaking begin. Daily top trends: YouTube, FjordX, Twitter, The Uprising, Google, Peter Cullen, Reddit, Vin Diesel, Letterboxd, Mutiny, Spotify, Things Take Time, Drake collabs with authentic brands on New Era. Of Ovo, Drake sold a majority stake in Ovio, October's very own, to Authentic Brands Group. Why it hits. Celebrity-fronted brands have become some of the biggest moneymakers out there, especially in retail, beauty, and food and beverage. There's an inherent marketability built in. Drake, one of the biggest rappers in the world, has owned and operated OVO for nearly 2 decades, giving the brand both the longevity and momentum for a major expansion. Between the lines, Drake, along with co-founders Oliver El Khatib and Noah 40 Shabib, wants Ovio to have its Fenty or Skims moment. While Authentic bought a majority stake in the lifestyle brand, the founders will retain a significant ownership stake and continue to lead the company's creative identity. Additionally, apparel company Vince Holding Corp. Taos, VNCE, will be tasked with overseeing product development, retail, and more, according to Complex. Closing thoughts? Authentic has been on an acquisition tear over the past decade, acquiring stakes in celebrity labels or making NIL deals with bold-faced names like Kevin Hart, Shaq, David Beckham, and the estate of Marilyn Monroe. That's on top of big deals in the fashion space for brands such as Champion, Reebok, Lucky Brand, and Volcom. It also has expanded into media IP rights, taking stakes in Care Bears and Sports Illustrated. Authentic is actually the second largest licensor in the US, just behind Disney, per THR. Who knew? Prediction. Authentic could be building the first equal parts media and apparel empire. Together with Superhuman AI Go, from AI overwhelmed to AI savvy, professional AI keeps coming up at work, but staying on top of it is easier said than done. That's exactly why 1M Plus professionals working at Google, Meta, and OpenAI read Superhuman AI daily. Here's what you get: daily AI news that matters for your career, filtered from 1,000s of sources, so you know what affects your industry. Step-by-step tutorials you can use immediately, real prompts and workflows that solve actual business problems. New AI tools tested and reviewed. Everything is vetted to surface the tools that drive real results, all in just 3 minutes a day. Join 1M Plus Pros. AI companies are buying books. Just to cut them up, independent booksellers across the country are reckoning with the fact that increased sales are coming from an unlikely source: AI companies tearing apart books to train LLMs. The big picture: an LLM is only as good as its dataset. As the top firms race to gobble up as much information as they can, the ability to track down and ingest even the most niche topics could theoretically give companies an edge in answering any user query. But that quest for knowledge is already ridding the world of a century's worth of physical books. Is the cost worth it? Between the pages, indie bookshops all reported a similar phenomenon to WSJ. Bulk book orders are literally disappearing into the cloud. The orders are typically placed through third-party marketplaces like Alibris, Biblio, and Amazon by unusual buyers like Red Sparrow Project, Blue Finch Project, and Green Parrot Project. They typically order hundreds of obscure titles at a time, like Home Long-Term Oxygen Treatment in Italy and Marriage Litigation in Medieval England, especially ones with an ISBN, a unique identifier given to published books, since 1960. Suspicious sellers have tracked these books to facilities where books are sliced up, scanned, and destroyed. Taking books apart makes them easier to scan than bending the spine. They're then sent to recycling facilities, where the books become your next iced coffee straw or roll of toilet paper. Last chapter. Booksellers are very conflicted about AI companies' practices. On one hand, revenue at some of these shops has doubled over the past few years, and many of the books sold are considered dead stock, titles that were heading for the recycling bin anyway. but booksellers are concerned that rare titles are getting lost in the shuffle, putting access to them solely in the hands of AI companies. Anthropic says it doesn't destroy antique books, while SpaceX AI says it created a library to preserve any rare books. Still, some sellers are holding back titles from bulk buys or asking other sellers to fulfill orders if the only copies they have are signed by the author. The future. Don't be surprised if indie booksellers organize to create a consortium that logs and protects endangered books from finding their way into an AI firm's shredder. Together with Nibbles, you work a 9 to 5 so your pet can live like royalty. Get rewarded for it. Your pet lives like a king on your salary. Organic treats, memory foam beds, and endless toy drops. Isn't it time their high maintenance lifestyle worked for you? Meet Nibbles, the first credit card engineered specifically for pet parents. Earn 3x rewards on pet and vet expenses, from organic pet food to grooming, and get 1x rewards everywhere MasterCard is accepted. Keep spoiling your highness without breaking the bank. Get the no annual fee card that actually rewards you for spoiling your pet. Apply now. Sponsored by Nibbles. Nibbles is not a bank. The Nibbles card is issued by Lead Bank. Other fees and T&Cs apply. Rewards offered by Nibbles, not Lead Bank. See nibbles.com for details. Nibbles does not operate in CT, NY, KY, MN, WA, CO, HI, MA, or Me deep dives. Read THR talks with Halloween Horror Nights creative director John Murdy about collabing directly with Curry Barker to incorporate Obsession into the iconic annual event. Listen. The Deal chats with former MLB player Ryan Howard about transitioning to a post-baseball career in sports investing. Watch. WSJ explores how high-flying hedge fund situational awareness came crashing down, forcing it to offload most of its holdings to Citadel in a fire sale. 5% of you voted no, and I'm not interested in yesterday's poll. Have you watched Widow's Bay? I like to wait and see if a series is picked up for a second season. As a horror comedy, I didn't find it particularly funny or scary. We thought it was corny and inane, too many instances of campy menace, several moments of platinum level writing and storytelling, a challenge for me to love it about to tail. Reese is top notch throughout. I couldn't stop. I binged it. So quirky. Let's keep the conversation going. Join poll of the day so your opinions can shine. Discover how your views line up with your peers, check out cool insights, and have some fun. It's data with personality. Quick hits. Entertainment, Media UEFA, Europe's governing soccer body, is looking to bring a criminal case against FIFA president Gianni Infantino over his attempt to sell a stake in the global organization. Xbox officially rolled out its service to digitize people's physical game discs. Saudi Arabia is building a Dragon Ball Z theme park in France. Technology over 100 major AI firms have signed an open letter warning that governments and companies have only months to prepare for an onslaught of AI-powered cyber attacks. Great. NVIDIA is in talks to acquire AI platform Hugging Face for more than $13 billion. Cisco gave each of its 9,000 workers a personalized AI agent. Fashion e-commerce Under Armour has tapped Grammy-nominated rapper Gunna as creative director of its new creative platform, P-Star. Fashion startup Atori raised a $9.5 million seed round to let customers buy discounted products made from the same materials and in the same factories as luxury name brands. Yayoi Kusama, an icon of contemporary art and polka dot innovator, passed away in Tokyo at the age of 97. Partnerships. Community. Podcast. Friends Today's email was written by David Vendrell, edited by Nick Comney, polled and copy edited by Kate Cuniff, published by Darlene Salazar.